Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paśyatdeshatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Now you can, if you want, you can switch off your camera. Thank you very much for joining today's session. What happened? Control Z. 1 minute. Is some. Just a minute. Control Z. Just a minute. Good. Now please tell me, can you see my screen? Can somebody confirm? Because I am not able to see. Okay.
We can see, sir. We can
okay,
see.
Okay. अभी दिख रहा है. ठीक है. Thank you. Okay, so if you get any problem, please let me know in the chat box. Right. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Right, and today we will be studying the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is very important chapter. The name of this chapter is Sankhya Yoga. And as you wrote, the name of the first chapter was Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna lamenting, Arjuna miserable. So what is this yoga that we will study in the sixth chapter, right? So you will find that after the chapter name, each chapter's name, yoga is written, right? It was not because Vyasdev thought, hey, chapter name is so small, so let's attach yoga. No, that was not the case. Right? First chapter is Arjuna Vishad Yoga, second is Sankhya, third is Karma, fourth is Jnana Yoga, fifth is again Karma Sannyas Yoga, sixth is Dhyana Yoga, seventh is Jnana Vijnana Yoga, eighth is Akshara Brahma Yoga, ninth is Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, 10th is Vibhuti Yoga, 11th is Vishwarupa Darshan Yoga. So everywhere yoga. And similarly here also it is written Sankhya Yoga. Right? The meaning of the Sankhya is very simple. Right? Sankhya means knowledge, especially a spiritual knowledge. So here Krishna will be giving amazing spiritual knowledge to Arjuna. Right? So second chapter is like the summary of whole Bhagavad Gita. Right? All the topics are covered in the second chapter. Right? It's like a summary. All the chapters are covered. Amazing. This is, I think, largest chapter in the Bhagavad Gita with 73 verses. Right? And the philosophy is very amazing. This philosophy you won't find in any academic books, in any college. You will not find this kind of philosophy. Right? That's why Bhagavad Gita is completely a unique thing. Right? So let's study this Sankhya Yoga. As we know that Arjuna is very panicked. Arjuna is miserable. Right? He's confused in one sense. He's very confused. And let's see, and we saw in the first chapter, only Arjuna is speaking. In the first chapter, Arjuna is speaking. खुद जो पता है सब बता रहे थे. What he was speaking, Krishna, no. If I kill them, sins will come upon me. If I kill them, their vansha, their kulla, right? Their tradition will be finished, so I won't kill them, right? I will go and take sannyas. I will go and become a beggar. I don't want to there. I don't want their kingdom. Right? Swajanam hatva sukhina syam madhava. How can I become happy by killing my own kinsman? Right. So then let's see what Krishna is speaking in this chapter. Because in the first chapter, Krishna did not speak anything. Okay, go ahead. Sanjay Vacha tam tatha kripaya vishtam nashru purna kulekshanam vishidantimidam vakyam vacha madhusudanam. Madhusudan means Krishna, right? So at various places, Krishna is being called with various names. So first of all, Krishna was introduced in the Bhagavad Gita with the name Madhava. The meaning of the Madhava is husband of Lakshmi, husband of Bhagya Lakshmi. Right? So Lakshmi is like the goddess of fortune. So where there is Lakshmi, there is fortune. And where is Lakshmi? Lakshmi never leaves her husband Krishna. So Sanjaya wanted to tell Dhritarashtra, you gave up all your hopes. Nothing is going to happen. Because Krishna is fighting from the side of Arjuna, Pandava. Right? So in the first chapter, Sanjaya spoke, I can see that Arjuna, Ratho, Pyastha, Upavishat, he is sitting on the chariot. I can see that. And that time, Dhritarashtra, he was so happy. But again, his dreams were shattered when Sanjaya spoke. Now I can see that Krishna, who is none other than Madhusudana, the meaning of the Madhusudana is very simple. Who killed the Madhu demon? So Krishna, in one of his incarnation, he killed two demons, Madhu and Kaitabha. Right? So here the word Madhusudana is used. It has a very amazing meaning. Right? So basically, Sanjaya wanted to tell Dhritarashtra that just like Krishna, once upon a time, he killed Madhu and Kaitava. Similarly, I think today Krishna is gonna kill the demons of a doubt that has raised in the mind of Arjuna. That's why he's using this word Madhusudan. Okay, so here basically Sanjay is telling, I can see that after seeing Arjuna in a depression, Ashru Purna Kulekshanam, Ashru Purna, his eyes were filled with the tears, and the tears were flowing from his eyes. He was crying. Ashru Purna Kulekshanam, Vishidantimidam Vakyam, Uvacha Madhusudanam. Then Krishna spoke to Arjuna as follows. Now let's see what Krishna is speaking. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. So first time in the Gita, Krishna is speaking. Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anayajishtamaswaryam akirti karamarjunam. Kutastva, from where this impurity has come to you? You are the fighter, right? And you have defeated so many kings. Now what happened to you today? Right? Just like, just imagine there is one student, right? And he was always a topper. But let's imagine he goes to exam and then he sees the question paper and then he starts crying. He was a topper throughout the years. But in this particular exam, particular test, when he sees the exam paper, he starts crying. Now what teacher will tell him? Hey, what happened to you? From where these impurities had gone into your heart. Fight, that means give your test, right? Sit for exam, don't cry. Are you a baby? Similarly, now Krishna is chastising. Right? Krishna is chastising Arjuna. Kutasva, from where? Kashmala means the impurities, from where these impurities has come to you, right? Now this is the battle, right? And in this battle, you are not supposed to think of anything other than battle, right? This is very intense situation. You don't go and cry in the battle. Battle is very intense situation. We know that, right? Either do or die. You don't cry. Do or die, but don't cry. Now here he is crying, he is sitting. So that's why Vishame, this is very difficult situation and you are crying here. What happened to you? Anarya, whatever you are doing, this thing is not done by Arya. Arya means civilized person, right? These things are not done by civilized person. You are most civilized person, you know. You're a prince and you are crying. Aswargyam. And these things, whatever you are doing, you are running away from the battle. These things will never take you to Swargaloka, heavenly planets. Akirti. So he spoke about three things: Anarya, Aswargya, and Akirti. Akirti means people will scorn your abilities. They will laugh at you. Hey, Bhagoda, bhag ke chala gaya. Will you be able to tolerate that? No, na, so fight. So if you run away from here, people will not say, oh my dear Arjuna, Arjuna was so nice, he was so soft-hearted person. They will not speak like this. They will say, hey, ye bhagoda tha, bhag gaya. He ran away from the battle. Shame on him. People will say like that. And for a Kshatriya, the insult is worse than death. Do you know this? Insult is worse than death. So कोई उनका अपमान करता है ना, they cannot, सहन नहीं कर सकते क्षत्रिय, right? So here I wanted to point out one amazing thing, right? And that amazing thing is the word used here is Sri Bhagavan Vacha, right? The word used here is Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Why this is amazing? Because everywhere you see, right, it is said Dhritarashtra Uvacha, right? Then Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya spoke, Dhritarashtra spoke, Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna spoke. Now here it should be Krishna Uvacha. Right? It should be Krishna Uvacha, but it is not written here as a Krishna Uvacha, it is written Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Right? Because Krishna is not the ordinary person. Please remember this. There are many people who consider Krishna to be a mystical person. Many people consider Krishna to be just a king. Many people consider Krishna to be a historical personality. Many people consider Krishna a yogi. Right? But please understand, Krishna is God. Sri Bhagavan. He is the God, and that's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is described as Sri Bhagavan. Right? He is the God. And basically that's the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, to understand Krishna's position and then to understand our own position. Right? Now Krishna's position is described by the Vyasadeva here. Sri Bhagavan, he is the God. Right? And in tomorrow's chapter, we will understand that how many gods are there. One God or many gods. Right? But here it is said, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Krishna is the God. God is speaking. It is not written Sri Krishna Uvacha. No, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. And in fact, in the Vedic scripture, all the Vedic scripture, if you open them, you will find this word Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Whenever Krishna is speaking, the words will come Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, because Krishna is the Bhagavan. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's move to our third verse. excuse me. Klaibyamma. Third verse. Naitatva yupapadyate Shudram hridaya daurbalyam Tyakto tishta parantapa. Right. O son of Partha, seems like you have become impotent. Right. Just like in Hindi we say, नपुंसक बन गया क्या तू? Right. और किसी पुरुष को आप ऐसे कभी बोलते हैं, so he becomes very angry. So कृष्ण क्या कर रहे हैं? कृष्ण is trying to inspire him by various ways. तो अभी उसको वो पुश कर रहे हैं. Are you an important person? Right. Get up and fight. Shudram Rudaya Daurbalyam, from where this miserly weakness has entered into your heart. You have fought with so many fighters and you have won the match. But what happened to you today? Get up and fight, man. Takto tishta parantapa. Get up and fight. Now here, Arjuna is called as a parantapa. Right. Parantap is also one of the name of Arjuna. Just like you have so many names, so Krishna also has so many names and Arjuna also has so many names. Just like we heard Madhusudana, now here the word comes Parantapa. Parantapa means one who can defeat all of his enemies. So Krishna is reminding him that you are so powerful that you had defeated so many of your enemies. In fact, you have got the boon from Shivji and he had given you Pashupatastra, right? Just take part in this war and fight. Now Arjuna is asking, Katham Bhishmamaham Sankhe Dronam cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratyotsami Pujarha Varisudana. My dear Krishna, you are asking me to fight, but please note that the people who are standing opposite to me, they are my worshipable people. Who are they? Bhishma, Maham, Sankhe, Dronam. These two people are my worshipable people, right? Bhishma, Pitamaha Bhishma, and Guru Dronacharya. Arjuna was very attached to them. And in fact, Bhishma and Drona, they were also very attached to Arjuna, right? When Pandu left the world, then no one was there to take care of the Pandavas. So it was a Bhishma who took care of Arjuna and his brothers, right? He loved them. He provided everything to them. So they were very attached. And that's why we find Arjuna is confused. Hey, this person protected me. This person took very nice care of me. And today, Krishna is asking me to kill them. How is this possible? Right? It's not at all possible. He's telling they are my pujarha. I worship them. I cannot kill them. 1 minute. Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan Shreyo bhuktum bhakshamapi haloke Atvartha kamanstu guru nihaiva Bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pratigna. My dear Krishna, bhakshamapi haloke. Bhiksha means bhiksha. मैं भिक्षा मांग के जी लूंगा परंतु मैं उनको नहीं मारूंगा. श्रेयो भोक्तुम भैक्षमपि हलोके अत्वार्थ कामांस्तु गुरु निहैव भुंजीय भोगान् रुधिर प्रधिग्नान्. Right? How can I enjoy, right, the things which are tainted with their bloods? I cannot enjoy these things, right? Because if you kill them, then everything will be tainted with their blood. So how can somebody enjoy something which is tainted with the blood? I cannot do that. Now he gave so many reasons. He is speaking so much of philosophy, right? And he was about to leave, right? He was ready to leave, but finally he thought, I think Krishna can help me. My friend can help me. So now he stopped speaking, right, his knowledge, and then he spoke this amazing verse. Now please hear this verse attentively. This verse changed Arjuna's life, right? And it can change our life too. Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prashyami tvam dharma samudha cheta yashreyasat nishitam bruhitanme Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. My dear Krishna, I am your Shishya. Dharma sammudha cheta. I am really confused about my duties, what to do and what not to do. Right? Please accept me as your disciple and please guide me. And when Arjuna, he spoke like that, then Krishna decided to help Arjuna. Right? When we become helpless and then we cry out for Krishna's help, Krishna comes. Right? But when we say that, hey, I know everything, I don't need anyone. Right? First of all, he was thinking what Krishna knows. Krishna is telling me to fight, but what Krishna knows that I love them, and then if somebody kills, then he has to go to Narakaloka, and so many things he was talking. He was just, whatever he had heard, he was just speaking that. But he did not know that everything is coming from Krishna only. Because of his ego, he had one ego, right? I know everything, and this is the right way. This is the right way. I know only one path, and that is the right path. But now here we can find that Arjuna gave up his ego. He understood that I don't know anything, right? He understood that I don't know anything. And then he decided to surrender unto Krishna. Shishyasteham shadimam pratvam prapannam. And this is like a U-turn of Bhagavad Gita. Because if Arjuna had left this war, he was ready to leave. Just we heard that he is saying, Bhikshmapi haloke mein bhiksha mangunga, I can beg, but I will not fight. He was ready to beg. He was ready to beg. But this is like a U-turn, because when he spoke these prayers, Krishna decided to give him a guidance, right? And to inspire him to fight. Now let's see how Krishna will inspire him to fight. Right? Let's go. Now Arjuna is telling, I'm not able to find any way to get rid of this misery. Please help me. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. This is 11th verse. Asochan vasochan tvam prajnavadan sabhashase gatasu na gatansunsha dana shochanti pandita. My dear Arjuna, you spoke as if you are a very intelligent person, but you are just speaking intelligently, you are not acting intelligently. Right? तू केवल बोल बच्चन है, केवल मुंह से बोल रहा है. Right? ये पाप लगेगा, ये करूंगा तो वो होगा, वो होगा, वो होगा, कितना बताया तूने. But you are not acting, you are just speaking. Now let me tell you who is the real Pandita, a real intelligent person. Socha anvasochatam prajnavadan sabhashase gatasuna gatasusha nanu sochanti pandita. Now listen from me, who is a real Pandita? Pandita means, Pandit does not mean that one who has a tilak. Pandit does not mean who wears a kurta. Pandit does not mean who worships. No, that is some external definition of a Pandit. But the most important definition Krishna is speaking here, the Pandita is a person who does not lament for any living entity nor for a dead person, because he knows that everyone is soul. This is a Pandit. Pandit means who understand that he is not the body, but he is the soul. Right? You are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are intelligent, wise, lament neither for a living nor for the dead. जो सही में बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति है वो ना तो मरे लोगों के लिए रोता है और ना ही जो जीवन जी रहे उनके लिए रोता है, क्योंकि उसे पता है केवल शरीर बदलता है, आत्मा तो एक ही रहती है। नाउ इन दिस चैप्टर, now from this next verse, Krishna will be speaking the most amazing knowledge, right? Amazing knowledge. He's speaking about the soul. Now let me tell you, no one in the whole world teaches about soul, right? But this is the most important knowledge because you are the soul. Whatever you are learning in your colleges and school, it is about your body, right? But our body is temporary. We are not this body. We are the soul. Continuously we are changing our bodies, right? Just let's see what Krishna is speaking. Natveva ham jatu nasamnam tam neme janadhipaha na chaivam na bhavishyamah sarve vayamatah param, right? First of all, he spoke that you are crying for petty things because never was there a time when I did not exist. I was also there, you were also there. I am also there, you are also there. And in the future, I will be there and you will be there. And all the people who are seeing, they will be there. So no one will go anywhere. So you are crying because you are thinking that if you kill this Bhishma, if you kill this Drona, then where they will go? They will remain here itself. Right? Just their body will get killed. Their body will get slain. But they will remain here only. Right? More explanation Krishna is giving. Amazing verse. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumara yauvanam jaram tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tatra namuyati. Become a sober person. Because sober person is not confused when he sees a soul is continuously passing from the body of a boy to the body of a young man, then to the body of the adult man, and then to the body of the old man, and then slowly when that body is left, the soul takes again the new body. So here the transmigration of the soul is explained by Krishna. Right? Dehino asmin yatha dehi. Deha means body, right? Deha means sharir. आपने सुना होगा हिंदी में देह. Deha means sharir, body. But what do you mean by dehi? Have you heard this word dehi? When I was once asking this question, one boy said, "Sir, dehi means curd." Then I told him that is dahi, not dehi. Dehi means possessor of body, one who possesses the body, one who occupies the body, right? So that is dehi. So who is dehi? Soul is dehi because he is occupying the body. And here Krishna is telling the soul is continuously passing from the body of baby to the body of a boy, and then from the body of the boy, the soul is passing to the body of a young man, and then slowly it is passing to the body of the old man, adult man, and then old, and then eventually the soul comes out of that body and it occupies the new body. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumara yauvanam jara. Kaumar means shota bacha. Yauvan means a young man. Jara means old. So Krishna is telling at every moment you are doing dehantar. Now you just see or you just imagine your photo from childhood, right? You are a baby, a small baby, isn't it? Now you compare that photo with today's photo, today's selfie. You will find many differences, right? but still you still feel that you are the same person. See, body is changed. Body is completely changed. I think I have one example. See, can you somebody tell me who is this man? Who is this boy? Let's see how many of you can guess. Okay, amazing, Sarang. Okay, super. सबको पता है. Okay. Now, who is this? Right? Right. So this is also Sachin, and this is also Sachin. But see, body is so changed, right? You can take your own example, right? So you take your photo from your childhood and then take a photo of now, right? And then you compare. You will find so many differences. You did not have hair that time, so your nose was very small, ears were very small, eyes were very small, right? And now all the limbs are, gone bigger, but still you feel, hey, I was that person, right? You feel, hey, I was that person, just like you are telling, this is also Sachin, this is also Sachin, right? But physically, there is so much difference. But still Sachin can say, hey, no, I was that person. Why? Body is changed, but that identity, right? Now here, identity means soul. The soul is same. Soul does not change. Soul is the same. So point here I am making is that we are continuously changing our body. Right? We are continuously changing our body, and that's why Krishna is telling Dehantara. When you are continuously changing your body, you don't feel fearful. Right? Now I'm a young man. Right? After 10 years, if you see me, I will have many wrinkles on my face, and then I will have many white hairs on my head, isn't it? So will I get confused? Hey, what happened? What happened? What happened? Why my skin has so many wrinkles? Hey, why my hairs had grown into the white? So I'll not get confused. I know it's a nature. So similarly, Krishna is telling, just like you are changing the body while living, right? It is said, after 7 years, our whole body is changed. This is scientific thing that after each 7 years, your body is completely changed. Right? That means every cells that you have in your body, they gets completely changed. Right? But still you feel, no, I am the same person. Why? Because although body is changed, soul remains the same. Right? And that's why we feel I was the same person. So Krishna here is telling, just like when you are living, you keep changing your bodies. Similarly, when you die, you change your body. When you are living, you don't become fearful that, hey, why my body is changing? You don't become fearful. You don't say, hey, why I'm getting old? You don't become fearful. Similarly, my dear Arjuna, while dying, your body is changed. Why do you become so fearful? It's a common thing, isn't it? So you are not this body, you are the soul, and that's why go and kill them. Don't worry. You are just thinking, what will happen to Dronacharya? What will happen to my Pitamaha Bhishma? Right? Krishna said they will take new bodies. Right? So kill them. Right? So I can give you one example. Now tell me in the chat box, what is this? What is this? I want your reciprocation. What is this? Okay, somebody's writing. Okay, super. So I will say, this is my phone. Now please pay your attention to me. I will say, this is my phone, right? I don't say, I am phone. I will say, this is my phone, right? What is this? This is earphones, right? Earphones. I will say, these are my earphones, right? I will say, this is my earphone. I don't say, I am earphone, isn't it? What is this? This is my kurta. This is my t-shirt. I say, this is my t-shirt. That means this t-shirt, this kurta belong to me, right? This t-shirt belong to me. This phone belong to me. These headphones belong to me. This laptop belongs to me, right? What is this? These are my hairs, isn't it? So these are my hairs. That means these hairs belong to me. These hairs belong to me. That means when I say this is my phone, that means me and my phone is different. When I say this is my laptop, that means my laptop and me is a different thing. When I say this is my earphone, that means earphones and myself is different. When I say this is my t-shirt and me is a different thing. Similarly, when I say these are my hairs and me is a different thing. When I say these are my eyes, right, that means my eyes and me is a different thing, right? When I say these are my ears, that means ears belong to me. Myself and ears are different thing, right? When I say this is my body, these are my hands, these are my legs, that means you are not hands, you are not legs. Your legs and yourself is a different. Body belongs to you, you are not this body. Just like this phone belongs to you, you are not this phone. Earphones belong to you, you are not these earphones. Similarly, this body belong to you. You are not this body. Same thing Krishna is speaking in this verse. You are not this body. Body belongs to you. Who you are? Dehi. We are the soul. Right? Dehi means one who possesses the body. So we possess the body. Right? We are the soul. So this is one of the most important teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Right? We are the soul. We are not this body. Right? Are you understanding? Are you getting what I'm teaching you? Okay, super. So I'll give one more example. Right? I'll give you one more example. How many of you have seen the death? Somebody is dying in your neighborhood or in the cinema or in your complex or society or in your village. How many of you seen the death? Super. So what happens when they get the dead body from the ambulance to the home? What happens? What exactly people speak? I want those words. What exactly people speak about that person? Okay, gone too soon. Okay. हाँ, gone too soon also, right? और क्या बोलते हैं जो व्यक्ति चला जाता है उसके बारे में? हाँ, okay. We only call it body. Yeah. Don't call him his name. Okay. देहांत हो गया. Okay. They call them body. हाँ, आप छोड़ के क्यों चले गए? Yeah, Sarang is telling, आप छोड़ के क्यों चले गए? But let me tell you, he is there, right? He's still there. But why did people say छोड़ के चले गए, he is still there, right? He is still there. Then why do people say छोड़ के चले गए? कौन चला गया? चला कौन गया? वो तो उधर ही है, राइट? चला कौन गया? आत्मा चला गया। और जब आत्मा निकल जाता है, when the soul leaves the body, body becomes useless, right? And when the soul leaves, we don't call it as a person. Now it's a dead body, right? So previously that was a person, but now it's a body because soul has left. Soul is very important thing in our life. Soul is very important thing, right? But the problem is no one teaches us about the soul, right? This is most important knowledge, very important knowledge, right? See, every one of us has to die one day, right? And that's why we need to learn this science, art of living, Leaving. This is very important science. We need to learn, and Bhagavad Gita teaches us that, right? And there are many scientific examples also we'll be looking into, right? We are just understanding the common sense perspective, that who we are actually. So when somebody is dying, we say चले गए, ये छोड़ के चले गए. अरे वो उधर ही है. Who छोड़ के चला गया? आत्मा छोड़ के चला गया, right? Let's go and see what Krishna is speaking. So in the future verses, basically Krishna will be speaking about the characteristics of soul, right? Nainam chindati shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chedakile dentyapo, na shoshayati marutaha, right? So many verses he will speak about the characteristics of soul. So you can read from the book, right? I think till the 21 verses he will be speaking about the different characteristic of soul, right? So this is 14th verse. After 14th verse coming, this is also very important verse. 13 and 14, very important verses. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agma paino nityam tam titikshasva bharata. So my dear Arjuna, try to tolerate tam titikshasva bharata. Titikshava means tolerate. Matra sparshastu kaunteya, the pleasure which is coming from the interaction of senses and sense object. So we have 5 senses, right? We have eyes, we have ears, we have nose, we have tongue, and then we have skin, right? So these are senses by which we gather the knowledge, isn't it? So these are senses. So when these senses come in contact with sense object, we feel happy or we feel miserable. Just like you have tongue, right? And when ice cream comes in the contact with our tongue, maza aa gaya, right? When we go to some natural place and when we observe that nature with our eyes, we see and then we say maza aa gaya, right? But what Krishna is telling, whatever enjoyment you get by this interaction of the senses and sense object, it's like Shita and Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha. Agama paino nityam, it will come and it will go. Tolerate it. You will never get 100% enjoyment every time, right? You will get misery also. So try to tolerate both things. Tolerate happiness also and tolerate misery also. Because after Shita, Ushna will come. Shit means cold, right? After winter, summer is coming, right? And that's how after Sukha, the Dukkha is happened to come. And after Dukkha, the Sukha will come. We have to learn this philosophy, right? Many people feel that only happiness will come in this world. I want to be only happy. No. We'll study in the 8th chapter. Krishna is speaking, Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Krishna is telling, I have made this world, to give sufferings, right? There is some different purpose for this world. So if you are expecting happiness, you are a fool. You are only expecting happiness, then you are a fool. And that's why Krishna is telling to Arjuna, try to tolerate happiness also and misery also. So here I am giving the example that just like mother, she never complains, right? She always fulfills her duties. She will not say, today I'm tired, I will not cook. She will not say, it's too hot in the kitchen, I will not cook. She will cook. She will fulfill her duties. Similarly, Krishna is inspiring Arjuna, do your duties. Even a mother is doing her duty. You do your duty as a Kshatriya. A sadhu, he never stops taking bath when he finds, Ganga is too cold. No, the sadhu will always take a bath. Right. And especially in the Magh, that means, I think Magh means February, Jan and Feb. And that time, Ganga's water, although it's flowing, but I can tell you it's like a 0 degree centigrade. Oh my God. But still, I have seen that many sadhus, they take bath because they feel that's their duty. So similarly, Krishna is telling you, do your duties, tolerate pain and pleasure. Just like these sadhus are tolerating. When you take a bath in a Ganga during summer season, it's like a pleasure. Aha, maza aa gaya. You don't want to come out of the Ganga. It's very soothing. But same soothing experience becomes miserable in the Magh. But sadhu is not taking, no, today I will not take bath. So similarly, Arjuna, don't run away from your duties, perform your duties. So here Krishna is speaking more about soul. In the, I think, 16, 17, 18, 19 chapter, verse also he spoke about the soul. Characteristic of soul, I would recommend that you should read them. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयो न जायते म्रियते. Soul is never born, soul never dies. Nayam bhutva, nobody made it. And ajo means he's unborn. Nitya means eternal. Shashvato means same, eternal. Purano means it's the most oldest. So we are the oldest, right? It is not that we have just born. No, we are the oldest. Our body is new, but we are the most oldest. Right? Nahanyate hanyamani sharire. He is not slain when the body is slain. जब body मरता है, तो ये आत्मा कभी नहीं मरता. So we can see that when the body is slain, जब body मरता है, so this soul takes the new body. And Krishna is speaking, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya. Amazing example he's giving. Navani grunhani naro parani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sayyati navani dehi. Just like when your clothes get old or they get dirty, what do? You remove the clothes, isn't it? And you then wear the new clothes. Similarly, when the soul thinks this body is not capable of doing work, then soul leaves that body and takes the new body. Right? Soul takes the new body. Vasansi, vas means clothes. Jirnani, jirna matlab purana. Gandha, yatha vihaya. Navani grunhani naro parani. Nava means new. Just like you change your clothes, soul changes the bodies. It's so normal, it's so common, Arjuna. Why you have become so fearful of this fact? It's very common. And even if you don't kill this Bhishma and then Drona, anyways, they are going to die. Because one verse we'll take and then we'll come to this example. Because jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Those who have taken birth, Jatasya means birth. Dhruva means certainly. It will happen. Those who have taken birth, one day they will die. Dhruvam janma mrutasya cha. And those who have died, one day they will take birth. Tasmat pariharyate. And that's why, my dear Arjuna, why you are getting bothered so much? Shochitum arhasi natvam. Don't worry. जो मरा है वो जन्म लेगा और जिसने जन्म लिया है वो एक दिन मरेगा. Why you are worried? Right? Be peaceful. Do you know? People are very, very scared about their death. Right? But scaring or getting frightened won't solve their problem. But understanding the reality behind this death, that can reduce their fear. But nobody is interested in understanding about death. See, death is very certain. Everyone has to go through this process of changing the clothes, isn't it? But hardly anyone is interested to understand the process. Right? Hardly anyone is interested to go beyond the cycle of this birth and death. It's the most important thing, death. But hardly anyone is bothered. They are very fearful, but they don't know what can we do about this. Right? So Gita gives the solution in the 8th chapter. So if you want the solution, continue with us, right, till the 8th chapter. Okay. So how many of you know this story? Should I tell this story or should I go ahead? Tell me in the chat box. Should I tell this story? Okay. So you don't know Kisa Gautami story? Kisa Gautami, there was one lady. Her name was Kisa. Kisa, her name was Kisa. So she was not having any child, right? But after many, many years, she got one child. And this child died premature age. So maybe 1 year, 2 year, he died. So now Kisa was alone. She started crying. My God, what happened? Right? What should I do? I was having only one child and he also left me. What should I do? She started crying bitterly. She started crying bitterly. And then somebody told her, Gautam Buddha has come there. He can help you. Go and take your child, dead body of your child there. He can help. So Kisa Gautami had that small child in her hand. She took that child and brought that child to Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was sitting. He was in his meditation. She came there and she asked, my dear Buddha, please help me. She said, what happened? Please revive my child. He was only my possession. I don't have anything. So he said, I can do that. But there is one condition. She said, you give me any condition, right? I'll fulfill all the conditions. He said, no problem. You get me some grains, some rice from those homes who have not seen any death. You get that rice from those homes. So she went to one home. She asked, आपके घर में किसी की मृत्यु हुई है क्या? He said, of course. See those photos. Recently my grandfather and grandmother, they died. He said, oh, so sad. So she went to next home. आपके घर में किसी की मृत्यु हो गई है क्या? Did someone die in your home? They said, yes, of course. Few years ago, my mother and father had died. So she was covering all homes from that village and she could not find a single home where she could find a home without any death. So she came back, she was crying. So she said, Buddha, I could not find any home which could give me a rice. Right? So Buddha said, same thing I'm telling you, right? This world, in this world, everyone is going to die one day. Right? You'll not find anyone in this world eternal. Right? This world is temporary world. Right? Whoever has taken a birth has to die one day. Right? So even if I revive your child, one day he has to die. Right? So better do something by which you can get an eternal life. So she asked, what should I do? Join our company. So she became a disciple of Buddha, right? And she attained the mental peace and the knowledge, right? She became Kisa Gautami. So let's understand this reincarnation a little scientifically, right? So whatever I'm teaching you, it is not something, what do you say, a mythology. See, there are many people who tell our scriptures to be a mythology, but no, it's a truth. It's a science, not only truth, it's a science. Science means it happens. Whatever happens, but this will happen. But although this is a science, no one teaching this science in the school. See, our problem is what, no one has taught us Gita in the school, and that's why it's very difficult for us to take up to this knowledge. We don't believe this knowledge immediately. Right? But we believe those bogus theories like a Big Bang theory, like a Darwin's theory immediately because that has been taught by our teacher. We don't ask the question, hey, how is this possible? How can somebody become, he can transmigrate from monkey to a human? Right? I have not seen with my eyes, but you don't ask this question because it has been taught by your teacher in the school. So point here I'm making is that one should learn this science because this is a science and most important science basically. Right? Many problems of life can be solved by understanding this science. Okay, so there were many scientists who learned this science, and one of them was Dr. Ian Stevenson. Right? You can note down his name. His name is Dr. Ian Stevenson. I think he was from the University of Columbia, California. I don't know. I'll share that article. Okay, so he had studied around 3,000 cases of reincarnation. Can you imagine? 3,000 cases of reincarnation. And he proved that reincarnation happens and we are not this body, but we are the soul. And soul always transmigrate from one body to another body. 3,000 cases. Not an Indian scientist, right? It's a Westerner. And he has studied that. So one of the example I will be taking today, you can find many examples, right, on this college site. I can share that site name. There are many examples. Or in fact, you can only search the Dr. Ian Stevenson and you will get many case studies. You will get many scientific research papers, right, which he had, written down. So we'll be studying one amazing case. And there was one person. His name was Titu. Right? His name was Titu. This is story from Agra. Right? In Agra, there is one village. I think the village name is Bad. Right? So Titu took birth there. And when he was a very young child, kind of a 2-3 years old boy, from that time, he started telling his parents. He told his parents that you are not my parents. My parents stay in Agra. I have huge bungalow. I have ambassador, right? And I remember somebody had killed me, and that's how I came here as a T2. But I am Suresh. Can you imagine 3 years old boy speaking this stuff? Who will believe? So no one believed him. Right? No one believed him. But as soon as he started growing up, he started demanding, I want to go to Agra. I want to go to Agra. I want to go to my own home. Right? I have a wife. I have 2 kids. I have my parents. I want to see them. I want to meet them. Now, Titu Singh was becoming aggressive. His parents took him to doctor and then psychologist. And then, of course, this case was reported to Ian Stevenson. That time he was studying, right? So they reported, and then he investigated the whole thing. So this is not a case like not like a Karan Arjun movie or Om Shanti Om movie, that Bollywood kind of stuff, but this is the reality, right? I remember few years ago, a program come to our TV. Of course, I did not see that program. I think that was Raj Pichle Janam Ka. But let me tell you frankly, all the cases were bogus. वो ऐसे ही मतलब क्या कहते हैं आप उसे, just to get name and fame, people are doing that. Right? But the real cases are studied by Dr. Ian Stevenson. Right? So you can read his book, 2,500 cases from all over the world, and still counting. His shishas, his students are still researching on that. You know, many Indians, they also joined. Many Indian doctors, they also joined their company later. Okay, so I'll continue the story. So he started demanding, I want to go to Agra. So one day his father told, what should I do? So he sent his elder child. So Titu Singh had elder brother. So father sent that elder brother to Agra. And the whole address was provided by Titu Singh. So Titu Singh told, चौराहे पे जाना आगरा के, वहां पे तुमको मिलेगा सुरेश रेडियोस, उस दुकान में जाना, वहां पे मेरी पत्नी मिलेगी. The brother was simply thinking, Arey, how did he know so much about the Agra? Right? Because that was a time when there were no buses and no internet. Right now, if I want to see the Agra, I can immediately search Agra and where is this in Agra. I can immediately do that. But this is a story from I think 1984 something, 1984, 83. Right? So that time there was nothing, but still he was telling the whole address in detail. This boy, this elder brother went, and surprisingly, he found this store which is named as Suresh Radios. He was shocked to see that, because till now his father and his brother, they were thinking he's just bluffing, right? He's just lying. But no, when they came there, and as he told, Titu told, this boy went, his brother went inside the store, and there was a lady sitting. So Titu had described to his brother that how his wife looks. So that looks were matching. So he asked, are you Uma? She said, yes. What do you want? Then this brother said, actually, I have a brother who is telling me that he is the reincarnation of Suresh Sharma. So she told, go out. We don't believe in this. Go out. No, please listen to me. He's telling that in the past life, he was being killed by someone. No, she was shocked. She said, yes, my husband was also killed. Right? Then she took little interest, and then she said, but I won't believe you immediately. I will come to your place and then I will cross check. Right? So she, with her in-laws, right? That means the Suresh Verma's mother and father, they went to this particular village. And as soon as they went into that village, this Titu Singh was playing, he was a child, he was playing in the water. And as soon as he saw this lady, I think her name was Uma, yeah. As soon as he saw this Uma, he was very excited and he ran to her, he embraced her. The Uma started thinking, who is this boy? And why is he embracing me? Right? I will send you that video. Right? You can see that. So she started saying, what is this? So she said, go away from me. She said, why are you running away from me? You are my wife. She said, what? I'm your wife? Go away from here. And then she started saying, do you know, Uma? We had lots and lots of money and we had buried that money in our home. And when she heard that, she said, yeah, only two of us knew. Suresh and myself only knew this. None of the other than Suresh, knew this story. So then she believed, right? This boy is none other than Suresh. But still she wanted to test, and also parents also wanted to test. They told him, you come to Agra. So this T2 also went to Agra and he was told to search for his kids. Now these kids were playing with all the gully kids. So they were like 30, 40 kids, they were playing in the gully. So this Uma asked to T2, go and find your kids. You told me that you have two kids, now find out. So he went and he exactly, found out his two kids from the past life. Right. And then this case was reported to police. And then T2 told the police that who killed him in the past life. And that's how the mystery was solved, because police could not find out who killed the Suresh. Because those times there were no CCTVs and all these things, right? Here, the reincarnated T2 told the police, these two people, they killed me, they shot me at my head, and that's how I was killed in the past life, and now I'm a T2. Amazing story, isn't it? Right. Similarly, there are many stories. The story of Minu, and there is story of Abdul. So many stories are there. So many stories are there, and real stories. The BBC has telecasted this story many years ago. Right. So this is a very amazing stories like that. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now I told you this story because I wanted to make you convinced that this is something scientific. It is not something mythological. Right. Let's go ahead. भयाद्रणां त्रिपुरतां मनसंस्ते त्वां महारथा ईशा च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यस्य शिलागवम्. Arjuna, you please fight. Otherwise, what will happen, if you run away from the battle, the whole people, they will laugh at you and they will consider you insignificant. Hato va prapyase svarga jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmad tishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritanishaya. Hato, get killed and you will go to Swarga. If you fight in a war, of course, you will get killed or either kill someone else. So if you get killed by someone else, you will go to Swarga. But if you kill others and if you win the match, win the battle, what will happen? You will enjoy the whole earth. Hatu va prapsisi Swarga jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmad tishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritanishya. Now fight with determination. Get up. Now, what should be the mood of fighting? Right? Now here, we all cannot go and fight. But our fight is our duties. Many times we run away from your duties. We have to fulfill our duties. We have to fulfill our responsibilities. See, many people say, hey, Gita is for only those people, those who are sadhu, those who are sannyasi. No, Gita is for everyone. See, Arjuna was not sadhu. Arjuna had many wives, not two wives, many wives he had. Many kids he had. And he had the responsibility. He was a very responsible person. So Gita is for a person who want to become responsible in their life. I feel very pitiful toward these people, those who say गीता मेरे लिए नहीं है, right? जब मैं बूढ़ा हो जाऊंगा ना तब गीता पढ़ूंगा. Some people speak like that. Gita is for everyone. Arjuna was not old, he was a very young man. So Gita is for everyone. Krishna is telling you fight without considering labha jayajo, without thinking of profit and loss, victory or non-victory. Right? So don't fear about the losing the match, you just fight. And when you do your work for sake of doing work, then you will not get entangled in sins. Right? So do your work because it is your work. Don't think I will get something. So if you think like that, you get afflicted by sins. When you think of yourself, you get afflicted by sins. Please note down this. But you don't think of yourself, and to help everyone in the society, if you are doing something, you will get afflicted by sins. Neha Bitkram, very important verse. Neha Bitkramanashosti. By the way, please tell me in the chat box, is this going interesting? Is this going interesting, or should we stop here? Okay, interesting, super. Is this knowledge relevant to you? Is this knowledge relevant to you? Only 2-3 people are writing. Okay, super. So basically, you know, I made this course not to, make you mug up, not to give you lots and lots of information. No. Take little, practice little. Of course, we will not be learning only little, we will be learning many things. But this is, you please remember, whatever knowledge you have, first apply that. Right? There are many people, they keep doing analysis, and then paralysis. So don't do that. Whatever you are learning, it could be a very small thing, but apply that in the life. Right? So this is like an applied course. So you need to apply this science in your life, and then it can give you the best of the results. Yeah, Sarang is telling nice dialogue. Analysis, paralysis. Yeah, there are people, right? There are people who just keep analyzing, hey, what will happen? Just whatever you have learned, apply that. Right? So to transform your life, even one verse of Bhagavad Gita is also sufficient. Do you know that? Whatever Dhritarashtra has spoken, that verse is also sufficient to give you everything in your life. That verse is also sufficient. We need to apply in your life, our life. So easy to understand, difficult to apply? No. Try it. Slowly. Neha Bitkramanashosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even if you do a small amount of a dharma, it can protect you from greatest danger of life. Even a small amount of dharma. So, right, even if you understand only one verse of Gita, it can protect you from the greatest danger, greatest fear of your life. Right? That is the power of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling. Okay. व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एक कुरु नंदना. एक चीज कर अर्जुन, एक चीज कर. In Marathi we say एक ना धड़ भारा भर चिंध्या. ये भी करो, वो 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 भी करो. See, I had one student of Bhagavad Gita, right? And I was teaching him Bhagavad Gita. And then he would go everywhere to learn. तो दिन में वो कम से कम 5-6 क्लासेस करता था. And at the end of the day, he would message me, sir, I'm confused. Then I told him, do one class properly. राइट? हर जगह पे मुंह मत मार के आओ. Do one thing properly. One thing. When you are studying, study properly. When don't do that, you are studying also and then operating like that. So here is an example of Dhruva. Dhruva was fully focused, and due to his focus, within 6 months he could see God, which is very very difficult for the great sages also. But due to the focus, व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुरु नंदना बहुशाखा ह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम्. एकेह कुरु नंदना, एक चीज के ऊपर काम करो. Right? If you think many things, then you won't able to do, either a single thing. Right? So focus on one thing, Arjuna. Now you don't think about these sins and this. You just fight now. Very important verse. Karmanyevadhikaraste. Now tell me in the chat box, how many of you heard this verse? Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturбhu ma te sangostu karmani. Krishna is telling you have a right to perform your work, right? And don't hanker for the fruits. Offer that fruits to me. You work, offer that fruit to me, and when you do that, you don't get afflicted by sins. Right? So we have to do our work without thinking of the fruits. Right? I can give an example of a student. A student is always thinking, hey, if I get good marks, my papa will take me to long vacations. Don't do that. You do your work with best of your abilities. You put your whole heart. Don't think of the fruits. Just like I remember my grandfather had, sowed the seed of the mango, and then somebody had asked him कि mango आने को 20-25 साल लग जाएंगे, you'll not get this mango. So he told, I am doing my duty, right? I don't want mangoes. I want to offer that mangoes to my grandsons. Right? Similarly, we should not think of any fruit. We should keep doing our duties. Right? यदा संहारति चायं कर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यो तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठितः. Now tell me in the chat box, how many of you have seen this kurma means tortoise, at the outside of temple or inside of a temple? How many of you have seen tortoise? Those who have seen can tell me why there is a tortoise. वो tortoise वहां पे क्यों होता है? कुर्मा वहां पे क्यों होता है? Good hope, good fortune? No. See, Krishna don't talk about this fortune and all. We don't believe in that. So if he is a form of Vishnu, then why not inside the temple? Why outside the temple? Somebody told me it's a Kurma avatar of Krishna, of Lord Vishnu. So if he's a avatar of Lord Vishnu, then why not inside the temple? Why outside the temple? Okay, no idea. IDK. Okay. So let me tell you. Krishna is telling here. Right? So Krishna is telling, Yada sanharate chayam kurmunganiva sarvashah indriyani indriyarthebhyo tasya pratnya pratishtita. Right? Vedas, now listen to me. Krishna is telling, become like a tortoise. Right? Now here Krishna spoke, just like we saw in the previous verse, that Krishna is telling, be focused. How to be focused? Be focused like tortoise. See, whenever distraction comes, what do tortoise do? He just, वो अपने जो अंग होते हैं उसको छुपा लेता है. जब भी देखता है कुछ डेंजर है तो वो क्या करता है? His limbs he will contract inside and he will become like a football, isn't it? Right? Have you seen this? How many of you have seen the contraction of the senses of the tortoise? I remember I used to go to play to my friend's house and he had this small tortoise, right? And very cute tortoise. So he would play with my friend. But whenever I would go to his home, this tortoise would hide. He would contract his senses, right, inside the shell. So whenever there is a danger, tortoise, he hides his senses. So Krishna is telling us that whenever there is a distraction, control your senses, right? We learned 5 senses are there: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch. Right? And all these senses are running in a different directions. Eyes want to see something beautiful, ears want to see something here. Ears want to hear something amazing, right? Melodious. And tongue wants to taste something amazing, isn't it? So all our senses are distracting us. So whenever this distraction happens, contract the senses, control the senses, no eyes, right? So why there is tortoise outside the temple? To tell us, become like a tortoise. You have come to temple, now only look at the God, right? Hear about the God, taste the prasad of the God, smell the tulsi of the God, right? Don't look here and there. Don't look for your own pleasures. See, you just observe yourself. You just look at your own senses. You know, whenever and wherever you go, you will only think about yourself. How this thing can make me happy. You will only think about yourself. So what we have to learn? We have to learn to become like the tortoise, to control our senses. No, this is not for me. Right? I have come to temple, and that's why tortoise at the entrance of the temple. Become like a tortoise, control your senses, focus on God. Right? Contract your senses. Don't hanker for material pleasures. Don't hanker for sense gratification. That's what Krishna wanted to teach Arjuna. Right? Control your senses. विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनां रसोऽर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य param drishtva nivartate. Now, after controlling the senses, use your senses in the higher service. Right? And when you use them in higher service, they can find the best pleasure. So example I can give here is that you have seen beggar. Hey, give me something, give me, I'm hungry. But just imagine if that beggars gets the proper food twice a day. Will he beg? No, he won't beg now. Now he's getting all the food. So he won't beg. Similarly, I want to tell you, Krishna wanted to tell Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, always our senses are hankering for pleasure, tongue is hankering for some food, ears are hankering for some melodious voice, right? Skin is hankering for some soft touch. So our all senses are hankering, and till what time they will hanker, till our last breath, until and unless we control them. If we control them, then they will not hanker. But if we don't control them, this senses will hanker. So if you are dying and you are thinking, hey, I left that pleasure. Hey, I left paneer biryani. Hey man, you are dying. You are thinking of paneer biryani. Think about Krishna. Right? This happens when you don't control your senses and engage them in a higher service. When we engage them in a higher service, they don't hanker here and there. Right? Just like beggar, when he get good food, he will not roam here and there for some food. Similarly, when we engage our senses in a bhakti, when we work for Krishna, when we work for the pleasure of Krishna, right, our senses become satisfied, and then we don't need to hanker everywhere for the pleasure. Right? We become completely satisfied. Right? Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha. Raso vyarjam raso pyasya param drishtva nivartate. The meaning is you have to engage your senses in higher service. Vishaya means basically a sense object. Right? You say, no, keep away from sense objects, but that won't help. Just like when you are going on the road and when you see pani puri wala, no pani puri. But this technique won't help you long. One day you will fall prey to the pani puri and you will go and eat. Right? But when you engage your tongue in a higher service, then you don't fall prey to anything, because now your tongue is satisfied. So we can only get satisfied when we engage our senses in a Krishna service. Now, many people make the misunderstanding here that they think engaging ourselves in the Krishna service, that means giving up everything and going to Himalaya. No. Tomorrow we will have a discussion on this topic. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yatato yapi kaunteya purushasya vipashyatah indriyani pramathini haranti prasadham manaha. Right. Krishna is telling you, control your senses. Right? The senses are so strong. What they do? They take away the mind with themselves. Haranti prasabham manah. They kidnap the mind and they take away your mind. So control the senses. Hayato vishyan spunsa sangasteshu pajayate sanga sanjayate kama krodha vijayate. So around 10 verses are pending. We'll stop here, right? Because this is a very important topic. So I want to start this with a fresh mind. Okay. So I think that you are tired. I think it's a 1.5 hour. Yeah, 1.5 hours. So we'll stop here. Many verses are pending. 72 verses are there. So this 62, 63, very important verses and amazing verses. So I feel that we should continue tomorrow. If you have any question regarding today's topic, please ask me. Right. And hope you are solving all the assignments. Right. Okay. So if you have some question, then you can raise your hand. Then you will come in the front. If you understood, please tell me in the chat box that you have understood. Okay. Anshika understood, Pranav and Oshina, and Bharti Gupta, Prachi Pathak, and Zoom user, and Vani, and Harshal Tipnis, and Rajiv Prabhakar. So Prachi, you have a question? Prachi, do you have a question? Bolo.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, Bolo.
Okay, sir. I'm sorry if my question seems pointless.
No problem. You can
It's in
ask.
my mind, so I'm asking. Yeah. Sir, Krishna told Arjun that the soul changes bodies like we change clothes every day.
Right.
So we shouldn't be attached to people the way Arjuna was attached to his family members.
Right.
Right. Yes, sir. So if we are not supposed to be attached to the physical self, and we should realize our actual nature, that is the soul, then what is the point of coming into the physical body after all? Like, if we have a lot of feelings also, our body system has a system where we can feel love, hate, and all these things.
Right.
If you're not supposed to be attached to them, then what is the purpose of coming into the physical body after all?
To love them. Krishna is telling, don't be attached to them, but love them. See, attachment and love is completely different thing. In attachment, we are expecting something. In a love, we are giving. So Krishna is not telling here that, hey Arjuna, don't love your wife, don't love your kids. No, we can love them, we can take care of them, and that's what Krishna is telling. Take care of your responsibility, Arjuna. You are responsible of Kshatriya, right? You have to take care of all the praja, right? Otherwise, what is the point of telling Bhagavad Gita? Krishna could have told, hey Arjuna, everyone is soul, they will take care of themselves, you go to Himalaya. Krishna is not telling that. Krishna is telling, although you are a soul, you have a duties to be performed in this body. So if you are a daughter of someone, your duty is to love your parents and to serve them. Right? So attachment and love is completely different thing. Attachment means we want something from them. Love means we want to give to them. Okay,
just accept.
Prachi,
Yes, yes.
you are understanding?
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you. So Krishna is not telling us that, give up everything, you are so hopeless, world is hopeless, just give up, yeah, go to Himalaya. He's not telling like that. He's telling, take care of your responsibility nicely. Okay. So there are many people who actually misunderstand Krishna's philosophy. They say Krishna is just telling everyone to go away from here. No, he's telling us to do both dharmas, right? We have bodily dharma also, and we have our soul's dharma also. Right? Our eternal dharma and our temporary dharma should go hand in hand. Right? Then there is some benefit. Okay. So thank you very much, and please complete the assignments because it's very important. It's like a revision for all of you. Okay, thank you very much. Otherwise, what will happen? It's like it will become like a motivational talk. Today I will motivate you. Tomorrow you are gone. मैं कौन हूँ? मैं कहाँ से आया हूँ? Like that. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. We are stopping here. See you tomorrow.